Welcome to this 20-minute morning practice. We'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Shoulders relaxed down the back, finding length through the spine. Maybe deepening the breath here. Releasing right ear to right shoulder. And slowly tracing the chin across the chest, left ear to left shoulder. And creating half circles here as you trace the chin back and forth. Maybe pausing if there's any areas of tension. Inhale back through center, opening those arms out wide, creating space in the chest. And as you exhale, hugging yourself here, wrapping arms around one another, creating space in the shoulder blades. And inhale, opening up the arms. Exhale, opposite cross as you hug yourself here. Inhale to open up those arms, opening the chest. And exhale, interlacing fingers, rolling the wrists in either direction. Getting out any clicks and ticks, maybe changing the clasp of the hands. Warming up the wrists. Releasing the hands, creating popcorn fingers as you bring the arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Continue flicking those fingers out, popcorn fingers, as you move up and down. Inhale as you lift the arms, and exhale as you draw the arms back down. One more time here. Continue flicking those fingers. As arms come down, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale as you reach to the right. Breathing into that side body from the hip all the way up to the fingertips. Leading with that top arm as you inhale and exhale over to the left. Breathing in along the right side body. Pelvis heavy. Leading with the top arm, inhale up and making your way to all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, belly to the mat, looking up. Exhale, tucking tailbone, chin to chest. Alternating with the breath between cat and cow. Feel the movement from the tailbone all the way up through the spine to the crown of the head. Walking the hands forward as you keep hips stacked over the knees, and then forehead to the mat, finding puppy pose. Breathing into the chest and the belly. Planting those palms. And tucking toes under, pressing hips up and back to down dog. Maybe pedaling out those feet, bending one knee and then the other. Breathing into any tightness through the hamstrings. Inhale, right leg to the sky, bending the knee as you open the hip. Stacking the hips here. Exhale as you step foot between the hands, untucking the back toes and hands coming to that front thigh, sinking into your low lunge. Shoulders relaxed down the back away from the ears. Planting left palm to the mat, tucking back toes under, lifting the knee, reaching right arm to the sky. And then begin to circle that arm, creating very large circles to warm up that shoulder. Following with the gaze. As the right hand comes down, walking hands all the way to the back of the mat, coming to find your Skandasana pose. And notice if it's the morning, your body may feel tight. So taking whatever variation you need to today. Bringing weight back to the front of the mat. Heel toe that right foot central on the mat as you lower the left hip down, feeling that stretch from the hip up through the side body. Maybe taking a mudra with the opposite hand, thumb and index finger touching, arm reaching out. One more breath. And exhale as you bring the hand back down, stepping back to plank. Leading with the tailbone up to down dog. Maybe pedaling out those feet once again. And this time, inhale, left leg up, bending the knees, stacking the hips, opening up here, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping foot between the hands, untucking back toes, hands coming to the left thigh. In that low lunge, shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. Breathing deep into the belly all the way up to the chest. Exhale completely. Releasing right palm to the mat, tucking back toes under, lifting the knee, left arm to the sky, and creating those big circles, following the hand with your gaze. As the hand comes down, walking hands to the back of the mat, finding your Skandasana pose, making any variation you need here. Maybe notice one side feels different than the other. And walking hands to the top of the mat, facing the opposite direction as you heel toe that foot in, finding the stretch from the hip all the way up through the side body as you rest hip on the mat. Maybe taking that mudra, thumb and index finger together, gazing past those fingertips. And release, hands back down to the mat, core engaged, as you step back to downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. And then looking between the hands, taking very tiny steps on the tips of your toes, core engaged the whole time as you come to the top of your mat. Finding a forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need to. Maybe grabbing hold of opposite elbow. Breathing into the back body. As you roll the spine up, head and neck coming up last, rolling shoulders up, back, and down. Mountain pose, palms facing forwards. Inhale, arms overhead, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circling arms up with a flat back. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, circling arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale with a flat back, leading up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Shifting weight into the left foot as you bring that right leg up to the inner thigh, calf, or ankle, finding tree pose. Actively pressing the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Shoulders down the back. If you'd like, picking a focal point at something that's not moving, or maybe practicing closing the eyes. Notice what shifts. And as you're ready, gently coming out of this posture, extending right leg behind you. Imagine one long line from that back heel to the crown of the head, arms reaching out by your sides and back. Spreading the fingers wide, maybe spreading toes behind you. Taking flight. And stepping foot back, finding a crescent lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky, shoulders down the back. Maybe continue spreading those fingers wide. Squaring hips to the top of the mat. Exhale as you bring hands towards the top of the mat. Walking them slightly forward as you lift right leg behind you. Rotating the hip open to stack the hips, finding half moon. Imagine pressing that left leg into an imaginary wall behind you to create length. Observe any shaking, any trembling. Releasing hand back down, crossing right ankle over the left thigh, maybe staying there in a forward fold, or with control lowering down, sitting back on that heel. Left knee pointing forwards in a balancing posture, so hands by your sides to find length, maybe stabilizing yourself here. If you'd like, I invite you to bring hands together to heart center, continue balancing. And then carefully releasing, uncrossing those legs, finding a forward fold. Arms hanging heavy, rolling the spine up, shoulders up, back and down, mountain pose. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale with a long spine all the way up. Exhale, hands for heart center. One more time here, going at the pace of your breath, warming up that body. Meeting in mountain pose, shifting weight into the right foot as you find your tree position. Left foot to the inner thigh, calf or ankle. And notice that one side may feel completely different than the other. Making any modifications. Maybe playing around with the arms or your gaze, open or close. Hands coming through heart center as you release the left leg back behind you. Squaring the hips. Spreading those left toes, arms reaching out to your sides. Spreading fingers wide. Imagine opening the chest to the top of your mat. One more breath. Exhale, stepping left foot back, toes tucked under, arms overhead in crescent lunge. Squaring hips to the top of the mat. Rooting down through that inner big toe. Exhale, hands to the top of the mat. Bringing weight into that right foot as you rotate the hips open, finding your half moon. Imagine a wall behind you to find length through the back of that right leg. Releasing top arm down for stability, crossing left ankle over the right thigh, maybe staying in a forward fold or coming down to find your balancing position. Right knee pointing forwards, hands by your sides for stability as you find length through the spine, chest lifted, maybe staying there or maybe hands together to heart center, shoulders down the back. From whichever variation you're in, slowly making your way into a forward fold. Taking a wide stance with the feet, finding length through the spine as you inhale, and then bending through that left knee as you bring left hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, right arm to the sky, maybe wrapping it around the back, reaching to that hip crease, extending through the back of the right leg. And exhale, coming back through center, bending the right knee, right hand to the center of the mat as the left arm reaches to the sky or to the low back. Feeling that stretch through the outside of the left leg, the IT band. And release, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. And then exhale, lowering down, yogi squat, adjusting yourself as necessary, hands together to heart center. On an inhale, breathing heart into the hands. Exhale fully, pelvis heavy. Releasing back to your seat and lowering yourself down all the way onto your back, knees bent. If you can, just grazing those heels with the hands. And pressing up into bridge posture. Pressing arms into the mat. Knees hip distance apart. And lowering down. Hugging knees into the chest, maybe rocking side to side, massaging the back body. Releasing the feet back down, crossing left leg over the right, and as you exhale, hugging those legs and interlacing fingers behind the thighs, or if you can, catching hold of the feet. Imagine opening them to either side of the mat, deepening that stretch. On an exhale, releasing here. Changing the cross of the legs, and as you exhale, once again hugging legs into the chest, or maybe catching hold of either foot. Imagine drawing them out to the sides of the mat to deepen that stretch. Shoulder blades towards the mat. And release, uncrossing the legs, bringing soles of the feet together. Letting the knees spread apart. Maybe bringing one hand to the belly, one to the chest. Bringing awareness to the breath, noticing the gentle rise and fall of the belly and the chest under the hands. Maybe see if you can deepen each inhale and extend each exhale. Relaxing the body, quieting the mind. If you'd like, remaining here for Shavasana or extending those legs out, arms resting by your sides. I invite you to close the eyes if they're not already closed. As you're in stillness, I invite you to reflect on this passage inspired by today's scenery. I'm going to read something from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It's our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Let those words echo here as you rest, knowing that it's not about how deep you went into a posture today, or whether you feel strong or flexible. What matters is that you chose to show up. You chose to breathe when things felt shaky. You chose to pause when your body whispered, "That's my edge, that's enough." Knowing that yoga is not about achieving the perfect posture, it's about presence. And those choices, they say everything. So as you lay here, let the body integrate not just the movement, but the intention behind it. Let it all settle. The effort, the compassion, the courage to show up. Knowing that you're not defined by how much you can do, but by how consciously you choose to be. Allowing yourself some space to be here, knowing that I'll be back to guide you back out of this practice. As you're ready, bringing some movement back to the body, maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes. Inhaling right arm overhead as you bend the knees, rolling onto your side, using that arm as a pillow. And pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. finding length through the spine. On an inhale, arms reaching overhead, and exhale, hands through heart center. Namaste.